The Buffalo Bills destroy the Jacksonville Jaguars right here in Buffalo, 47-10. Yeah, y'all heard it right, 47-10. Welcome to Buffalo Against the World.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kulu and
Cousin Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.
Bills Mafia, we know you guys are on fire right now as the Buffalo Bills put up a dominant performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars right here in Buffalo, New York. The hometown team did it again, 3-0, the big 3-0. We are joined with Cuzin Brad and the co-founder of the BIB. If you don't know him, you better get to know him. You better get to know us. My man, Akeem Richins. What's going on, Akeem?
Yeah, man. Hey, Rich, Akeem Richins. Hey, this is it's good to come to this show and have this type of dominating performance, 47-10. This is how we should be playing against inferior teams. So it's blessed to be on with you guys and to be celebrating this victory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cuzin Brad, man, why don't you get us off to a good start? Take us around the league, and then we're going to talk about and dissect this dominant performance by the Buffalo Bills. Let's get going.
Absolutely, baby. You know we love to go around the league, especially on a Victory Monday. You know how we do. You know we love to go around the league and talk about the other teams. But tonight's our night. But let's talk about it going around the league. First, we're going to start off. The New Jersey Jets beat the New England Patriots 24-3. And they were there. The New Jersey Giants beat the Cleveland Browns 21-15. Daniel Jones getting a win in Cleveland? All right. Dicey game that took place yesterday. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the New Orleans Saints 15-12. That was a weird game. And shocker, this one wasn't good. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Houston Texans 34-7. Not looking good for the Houston Moo-Moos. I don't know what's going on. Another shocker. The Denver Broncos beat the Buccaneers 26-7 in Tampa. Pirates ain't looking good right now. I don't know what happened to the Tennessee Titans. They just fell off the face of the earth. They lost to the Green Bay Packers 30-14. Big Tony and the Indianapolis Colts beat the Chicago Bears 21-16. The Pittsburgh Steelers with Justin Fields at quarterback beat the LA Chargers 20-10. What is going on right now? I don't know. All right. The Dolphins. At this point, do we feel bad for them? No, we don't feel bad for them.
No,
but
we don't.
No, we don't. They lost 24-3 to the Seattle Seahawks. And what's this? What am I reading this right? The Carolina Panthers, like the actual Carolina Panthers, beat the Las Vegas Raiders 36-22. Odd week. LA Rams beat the San Francisco 49ers 27-24. The Cardinals lost to the Motor City Kitties, the Detroit Lions 20-13. And the Cowboys almost came back against the Baltimore Ravens, but they unfortunately fell 28-25. Kansas City Chiefs beat the Falcons, with the refs' help, whatever. And of course, our team, we just beat the crap, got our get back against Jacksonville, beat them 47-10. And right now, good game going on right now. The Cincinnati Bengals are actually losing to the DC Washington Commandskins 38-26, but it is the fourth quarter and Cincinnati does have the ball. That game is not over yet. There's 1st and 10 on Washington's 32-yard line. But enough about the rest of the league. Let's talk about this dominant performance, gentlemen, because, this was chef's kiss. Monday night, absolute masterpiece massacre that we just pulled off against, the much-hated Jacksonville Cheetahs from Jacksonville. We just don't even like them. They just showed up on our turf feeling confident because we went across the pond last year and they beat us in England. But we're back in American soil and they crumbled to Super 17 and the Buffalo Bills. I got to know your thoughts, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, let's give it up to Izzy, man, for that super chat, man. Yes, the Bills dominated these bums.
Dominated.
Shout out to Izzy, man. Was on the show. Great show last night, my brother. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. Yeah, man. Look, man, let's start with the offense, man. The offense, Josh Allen aired it out, man. Josh Allen dominated this game. He showed why he's that boy. I mean, 4 touchdowns, a very efficient night, 23 to 30. He led the team in rushing as well. 6 carries, 44 yards, 7 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. What more do we got to say about Super 17? I mean, he just continues to dominate. Akeem, what's your thoughts, my brother?
Preach, King.
Excellent performance by the Buffalo Bills tonight, offensively and defensively, right? And I think we should start with the offensive side of the ball because I was curious about how Joe Brady was going to attack the Jacksonville Jaguars offensively. We've heard about their secondary having some injury issues, and another guy went down today. And I wanted to see if Joe Brady was able to expose the secondary of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they ran difficult concepts, but simplistic plays and variations where the Buffalo Bills offense understood, but still was able to confuse the Jacksonville Jaguars in order to be successful. So I really like the performance by the Buffalo Bills and from Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator.
It's okay. I'll say it for you. Joe Brady was playing Madden in the booth. He was playing Madden in the booth in real life. I'll say it for you. He was just all he was doing was calling the same plays, just reversing them to the other side. Shout out to Joe Brady and that dominant performance, man. Super 17, he overrated though. But he overrated. But you know, he's the most overrated player in the league. And you know, this Jaguar defense has had his number and they beat us in London. So I mean, you know, we ain't got no chance. You know, they came back in the playoffs against the Chargers, 24 down. I mean, come on, they had no shot against us. And once, you know, a absolute special moment. Once DeMar Hamlin got his interception, I knew the game was over. I'm like, oh yeah, they got no chance. This game is over.
We gonna get to that.
First half. Yeah,
we gonna get to that once we get to the defensive side. But let's talk about Cook, man. Cook got us all started, bro. Woo! Cook has been cooking all season and really not big numbers, like really. But he's doing it on both sides of the ball. He did miss that touchdown catch. That was nice. Still scored on that drive. Still scored on the drive. But he had 4 catches for 48 yards. He had 11 for 39. I mean, James in the touchdown. James Cook continues to really be a mega force in this offense. King, man, I'm going to pass this one to you, man. What's your thoughts on the running game for the Buffalo Bills, starting with James Cook?
I just love the identity, right? The Buffalo Bills have the identity to run the football. They have a guy like James Cook who is explosive in this offense, within this offense. He can do a multitude of things, can run between the tackles, and can be a mismatch nightmare in the receiving department as well. So I really love what I've seen from the running game and from James Cook from a versatility standpoint. And let's not forget, 10 different receivers caught a pass today. So that everybody eats mantra is holding true. You know how certain ball clubs, they like to say mantras, but it doesn't really come to fruition. The Buffalo Bills mantra is coming to fold and everybody eats. So I really love
everybody. How many different players caught the ball? How many you say?
10 different players caught the football tonight.
And I want to go through that. Khalil Shakir, 3 weeks in a row, has led this team in receiving. 72 yards for him, 6 receptions. James Cook, 4 for 48. Dalton Kincaid had 3 for 41. Ty Johnson had 3 for 28 and a touchdown as well. Keon Coleman got his first touchdown. He had 1 catch, but it was a touchdown catch. So 1 for 24 for Keon Coleman. Curtis Samuel had 3 for 22. Matt Collins, 1 for 16. Dawson Knox, 1 for 7. MVS, 1 for 7. And Ray Davis, 1 for 1. So look, man.
I got a catch out there too. I got a catch too. I got a catch too. Yeah, everybody eats, B. I got a catch too. I was out there. Everybody eats, B. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Look, man, I can't say it better than the King said it, man. I mean, everybody is getting a piece. Josh Allen is not focused on one target anymore. And this is what we are really seeing, a new level that Josh Allen is reaching because he doesn't have to throw the ball to or force the ball to one great player. I mean, we're not going to talk about Diggs not being great. He is a great player. But the bottom line is, sometimes to you're going to have to force the ball to him because you put this on your shoulder that you two guys are going to win the championship off of you two guys. But now it's off everybody.
Yeah,
Nobody has to have a big game. And really the hungriest player that we've had who's led this team in receiving has been Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, man. Yo, you hit the nail right on the head, man. You took it away from the Allen and Diggs show, to a big old Buffalo buzzsaw of an offense, man. And before we go any further about, we talk about everybody eats. Ain't nobody eating better than that Buffalo Bills offensive line who put up a show tonight. That Jacksonville Jaguar defensive line is not an easy line to play against. So shout out to the offensive line. You kept Josh clean, and you just had them holes for James Cook, Jimbo Himbo, and Jimbo. We you're a running back. We get it. You're a running back. We understand. We understand. We know why you play running back. We get it. You missed one, man. You was out there killing it. He just looks impossible to tackle. He just looks the level of his cleats, the way he slings through the tacklers, and he just shifts through the line. That dude looks impossible to tackle. And Khalil Shakir, your man looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, always dipping and moving and spinning and turning and twisting. Like, dude is impossible to tackle. We got a whole buzzsaw down here in Buffalo right now. That offense is clicking. But shout out to the big boys up front.
And we spoke about Khalil Shakir's catch rate with Josh Allen last season. Well, this season, 14 targets, 14 receptions to start the season for Khalil Shakir. So it seems like every time Josh Allen looks his way, Khalil Shakir is going to make a play. And it happened again tonight, man. So Khalil Shakir is proven that he can step up and be that number one receiver for the Buffalo Bills if need be for this passing offense. So I love what I'm seeing from him.
And you think about that. You think about what you just said, King. Look, man, this is a slot receiver as our number one receiver right now. I mean, we haven't seen that since Andre Reed. I mean, look, he's doing it. Shaq Diesel. That's right, Scott. Shaq Diesel is
I love
like
the comments.
This kid. Look, ever since Eric Moles got a hold of this kid, like, I don't know if he just gave him the serum or whatever that Moles had, but he's breaking tackles. He's catching balls over the middle. He's really impossible to guard because he's so shifty.
And that's when he's most dangerous is when the ball is in his hands. He becomes literally. I know that becomes cliche to some players, but literally, Khalil Shakir becomes a running back when the football gets in his hands, and he's
1,000%.
He's a threat to score, in my opinion, every time he touches the ball.
And he doesn't go down. Like, it takes more than one guy to bring him down. You see on that touchdown here, I thought, man, this dude is not going to go out of bounds. He ain't bringing him down. It took about 4 guys, and he almost killed himself getting in the goal line. I thought, I'm like, man, I hope he's not hurt, but he was good. He got up, shook it off. But, man, that dude is a straight-up Sonic the Hedgehog, supersonic coming back there. He spins, he jumps, he turns, he does all them things. I mean, this dude is a straight-up threat every time he touches it. Keep giving him the ball. And I love the motion they started using out of the backfield. And, I got to give it up to the offensive line again because them dudes were just straight manhandling that defensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight.
Yeah, the offensive line has really proven itself these first 3 games. They've kept Josh very clean. They've kept him very clean. I mean, Josh has not really had to put on the cape as we've seen in prior years. Josh is really just playing ball. He's just balling right now. And he's able to do that because of the offensive line. Cook. And you can really tell. Now, we're going to talk about a few of the guys that's no longer with the Bills that were weapons for and protection for Josh Allen, i.e. Mitch Morris, as well as Gabe Davis. Them guys are looking on the other side like, they ain't even need us.
Yeah. There's a lot of upset faces. Go ahead, Akeem. I see you about to say. Go ahead.
And that's funny you say, Gabe Davis, and it seems that way throughout the course of the league in terms of where the Buffalo Bills former players are. Right, Gabe Davis, he ran into a buzzsaw today. We see what's going on with Trey White. Poor Trey White, bless his soul. What's his struggles and what's going on, and Jordan Poyer, bless his soul as well. But I don't feel as sorry for him because you chose to join the AFC East foe, so you kind of deserve everything you're getting right now. But for the Buffalo Bills to be performing despite those guys. A lot of naysayers say we would miss is good to see thus far throughout the course of the first 3 games.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. I would say a lot of eyes opened up tonight. A lot of eyes opened up tonight. It was like, oh, wow, they don't have Gabe Davis, Mitch Morris, or Stephon Diggs, or Jordan Poyer, and they're still good. And we got guys that are actually hurt that not in. Terrell Bernard not in. Matt Milano is out. Teron Johnson is out. We got depth. And Kulu, I will give you your credit every time credit is due. You said it at the beginning of the season before the season kicked off. This is the deepest team you have ever seen. And right now, 3 games in, got a lot of depth at a lot of positions. It's a lot of team ball. And, we don't want to be cliche, but everybody eating right now. Everybody at the table eating. And you could tell, you know what else? One more thing before sorry, cool. You could tell Josh Allen is just, you could tell it's just, he's just sigh of relief. He just out there, no pressure. Just, I'm just going to go drift to the left. Oh, no one's open. Oh, he's open. Here you go. Yeah, he just, so, man, I don't know. Go ahead, cool. I'm sorry. I had to get that out there.
Yeah, right now this team is averaging 36.6 points per game. First 3 games.
Yeah,
I mean they're leading the league right now in points scored per game. All right, but that 47-point performance that really just took their number all the way up. So this team is really, and then as Izzy just mentioned, 156 passer rating. He's really. They're on another level right now, and they ain't missing anybody that left this team, especially on this offensive side. Joe Brady has really, he said this is going to be a Josh Allen offense, and he's truly lived up to that. He's truly lived up to it, making it very Josh Allen friendly, getting those tight ends involved. No, go ahead, bro.
I didn't say nothing. But I want to give credit.
Most definitely.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Akeem. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I was just going to say most. You can hear me? Now you can hear me? You good? You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, no,
go ahead,
I was just going to say most definitely with Josh Allen, right? Especially after the first game against the Arizona Cardinals, where we was worried about his hand and that injury, right? And it seemed as if now with these next 2 games, he was actually able to protect his hand while performing to the level he was performing. So I think that's a testament to the offensive line, the offensive coordinator, and Josh Allen himself. So a great overall performance these last couple of weeks from the Buffalo Bills.
Absolutely.
I want to give credit where credit is due again, man. We got to talk about the other side of the ball. We got to talk about Sean McDermott. He has kept his team well coached. It was not all hands on deck. It was like, look, man, we good. We good over here. We good. Maintain, play smart, humble and hungry. Got to give Sean McDermott his just due. And the defense, man, the defense showed up. Defense put out no touchdowns in the first half. They got, they got a couple plays in the second half. They didn't really do nothing. But the defense showed up, man. That defensive line for the Buffalo Bills, that defensive line by committee, Ed Oliver, Groot, AJ Epinesa, Deion Jones, those guys they plug in. Von Miller getting his first sack of the season. I mean, that whole defensive line unit, we play a nickel defense. We play a nickel defense, but those guys all come together and make it hard to run on us too. So, I mean, we got a tough test coming up against Baltimore. So this is definitely opened a lot of eyes tonight.
Point of correction, Vaughn, that's his 3rd sack of the season, actually. But
at home, right?
I think he had one.
He had one against the Cardinals?
I believe so. He had one late against the Cardinals. Yes, he did.
Oh,
so bringing in that point you just made, Cuzzo, 4 sacks today in a number of quarterback pressures today. When you're talking about Trevor Lawrence, this is a physical specimen here. This ain't no slouch. This is not we've seen this in prior years when we faced him, how hard he was to get on the ground, and they put a hitting on him today.
Oh, yeah, he's hurt.
Our guys put some hitting on him. And again, the same thing I was saying about Tua is once you get a couple of sacks on this guy and then he gets a pick that Damar Hamlin did in that game, which was monumental. A monumental interception for Damar Hamlin, his first career interception. And off the comeback season, basically, where a lot of people didn't think he would even make this roster. And he's the starting guy. And he's been performing very, very well, tackling well, covering well. And he's overall emerging as one of the leaders of this defense with the absence of Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard. What's your thoughts on Damar Hamlin thus far? Let's start with you, Akeem.
Love what I see from Damar Hamlin thus far, right? This is a season where Damar Hamlin had an off season where he can prepare himself to get better, to be prepared for this moment that he was in today, right? I think last season, everything was like a cultural shock where he just got hurt in January and just played the very next season. He was excited to play. This season, I believe he had an off season to build the confidence to say to himself, okay, I am indeed playing and belong in this game. And now I have a whole off season to get better. And now we're seeing the rewards of his off season progressions. And he's doing, a great job thus far, the safety position in him and Taylor Rapp. So I love what I see from Damar.
I'll second that as well. I mean, this dude, the story, the movie is already probably in production at this point. I mean, this dude literally had to be resuscitated on the field on a Monday night game, on a crucial game for the Bills, fought his way back every single step. The entire world was with him. He did a bunch of charity work, and, a lot of people said, I was one of them people say he probably wouldn't make the roster. I can admit that. But, I mean, he was there when we needed him. A lot of guys went down. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And tonight was just a monumental night for him. His first interception as a pro. I wish he would have took it to the house, but just the fact that he did it on Monday night, everybody watching, got an interception, his first one as a pro in Buffalo. Once that happened, the game was over. They had no shot. So, Damar Hamlin, man, we salute you, bro.
McDermott is a mastermind when it comes to defensive backs. Mm-hmm. And, I've done it. I've questioned it before. I've questioned, and not just defensive backs, also linebacker. In the beginning of last season, a lot of us questioned Terrell Bernard. We questioned, was he going to be a guy who can play middle linebacker because he's a bit undersized. Look at what he came into. Yeah. Now we're starting to see the emergence of guys like Dorian Williams, Bailey Spector. Again, I've said this, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it till everybody get it. This is the best all-around roster that we have had in the Josh Allen era, and I say that because of the depth, the youth, the depth, and all of that this team has. Even our boy Solomon, rookie Javon Solomon, got his first career sack. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, man, these guys are
Ingram got his first sack too.
Ingram got his first sack. These guys are, after that big game last week, that was amazing. But
first sack.
These young guys are gaining so much confidence. They're playing like pros. Let's talk about some of these guys. Let's start there with Jamarcus Ingram. Another big day for him. What's your thoughts, Akeem, on Jamarcus Ingram? And then we'll talk about some of the linebackers as well.
Yeah, right. And first of all, I'm gonna get into Ingram in a second. You spoke about Solomon getting his first sack, and I think that was another question mark headed into the season about the Buffalo Bills. Where are the sacks going to come from? There is no more Floyd, who had double-digit sacks. We don't know what we're getting from Von Miller. Where are the sacks coming from? And to have Solomon have a sack and Von Miller look how he's looking, and Gregory Rousseau has looked like he stepped up to another notch in his level of the game he can display. The Buffalo Bills defensive line and a number of pressures we got today. The Buffalo Bills defensive line look like they can be a force, and I think Jamarcus Ingram, getting into him, he's another guy that falls in line to kind of what Kulu says in in being a mastermind from Sean McDermott. He's a predecessor of that Jamarcus Ingram, him being able to come in and develop and progress within this defense. And now he's able to play and play magnificent snaps and important and crucial snaps and becoming successful playing these vital roles is a testament not only to Jamarcus Ingram, but to Sean McDermott, that staff, and how they develop players. We see what's going on with the Chicago Bears and with the Carolina Panthers, where organizations are in flux because they don't have the right guys in place to be successful. The Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott, they have the right guys to be successful, and we're seeing the successfulness as far as them having the ability to win games come into play. Excuse me.
Absolutely, 1,000%. You hit the nail on the head right there. Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane and that whole front office, they find a lot of talent that other places wouldn't look. Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis, right? Cam Lewis, UB guy. Ingram, UB guy. Joe Andreessen, UB guy. Solomon, I forgot where Solomon came from. I can't remember where he came from. But a lot of guys we're finding a lot of talent in different places. A lot of places where people don't look or people overlook, these guys are finding some talent to plug in. And they not only do they plug in, they buy in to the philosophy that Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, and the entire organization has put together. Everybody eats. So shout out to the entire front office and Sean McDermott being able to, put all these guys in a pot and, hey, cook. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats on offense, and everybody eats on offense, and everybody eats on defense. That's what it's looking like right now. It's I mean, you got guys that's getting their first sack, guys getting their first interception. I mean, look, man, these guys, the way this roster is built, a guy can go. It's really next man up if a guy gets injured. Absolutely. I mean, these are significant injuries you're talking about with Milano and Bernard. These aren't just, these are starters in the NFL. There's one, and Bernard's, not Bernard, Milano's an all-time all-pro a few years ago. So
sure was.
These aren't good guys. These aren't guys to just replace. So I've really got to give my hats off to Dorian Williams and Bailey Spector in the middle of that defense, making solid tackles out there as well. Benford continues to impress as that cornerback number 2. Rasul Douglas, we know what he does. And again, man, we just can't say enough about the defensive line, the special. Everybody in the secondary is just playing at a peak level. So,
and what can we say? When the Buffalo Bills are not beating themselves, they are a difficult team to beat. The Buffalo Bills, they're not turning the ball over. And they're not committing penalties. So when you're playing a Buffalo Bills team that's not doing those two things, good luck.
Locking in. Yeah.
Good luck trying to beat the Bills when they're not beating themselves.
For real,
we're seeing that on display throughout the course of the first 3 games.
Oh, yeah, he hit the nail on the head right there. When we're not beating ourselves and the refs aren't, how do I say this? Not throwing flags frequently when it requires it. And we're not committing dumb penalties, it is a tough team to beat. We'll say, I've been on him all year. This one kind of wasn't his fault. We did miss an extra point. Besides that, he's been good. But, missed another kick, technically. Brought in a couple kickers this week. Not saying we need to change, but I'm not saying we don't need to change either.
I would say for him, Bass, at this particular point, it's time to start looking. It's time to start looking see what you can find out there, because you're probably not going to find a starter right now. So let's not go dramatic, but it is time to create some competition at this point, because you're missing extra points at this point. And that games can come down to that. It hasn't.
Yes.
It hasn't at this point. But games can come down to 1 point. All right. So we got to figure it out. Hopefully, Tyler Bass figures that out. But right now, I want you to make sure you go to the Built in Buffalo platform. Go find us over on YouTube and make sure you subscribe. Do that right now. Make sure you hit that notification bell because that's very important. Whenever a show drops, we drop shows every single day right here on Built in Buffalo. You will have the opportunity to watch those shows. So make sure you hit that notification bell. But right now, we're going to go into our hater of the
If there's
week.
any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Keep the hate coming. Buffalo Against the World show.
Turn me up some more so my haters can hit.
Public enemy number one, Cuzin Akeem. We still have a number one hater, and he continues to be that number one hater despite the great play of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bill defense. Nick Wright.
I'm starting to think he likes us.
Look, he's on our permanent list right now because he basically mentioned that the Jaguars have had the Buffalo Bills number and that they will have their number on Monday Night Football in Buffalo this time. Nick Wright, how you feeling, bro? I really want to see what you got to say tomorrow because you have been the number one Bills hater. You must love the Buffalo. You must love Josh Allen for real.
He a fan. He's a fan. He got a jersey in the closet that he wear on Sundays. You know, he got a jersey. He got a hat. He got the Zubas. He got ranch. No, he doesn't have. He has blue cheese in his refrigerator. He a fan. He know he a fan.
Secretly,
Exactly.
Nick Wright knows that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills is the biggest threat to his Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think he knows that.
And the referees. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, and speaking of, this situation with the Kansas City Chiefs, our team at the Buffalo Bills, shout out to Jaquino for the super chat. We appreciate that. Man. Much love to you, family. Much love to you. Again, look, yes, they're a team that we're chasing, but we're focused right now. We're focused when we're taking games one game at a time. We are developing our identity, but we still are going to rely heavily on 17. That's what this is. This is about him this season. This whole season is about his evolution and his growth and his development and not needing a guy who's got a great name on the back of his jersey and has produced in this league. He's doing this with guys who really haven't done it to that high level, showing that he can do the exact same thing that Patrick Mahomes did when Tyreek Hill left. So again, these other guys are going to get this opportunity. So we're seeing that right now. So Nick Wright, keep on hating, but it ain't going to stop. Josh going to keep doing Josh things.
Man, oh man. Nick Wright. Honestly, I don't even want to say what you got to say on your show tomorrow. I won't tune in. I won't tune in tomorrow. Because at this point, I mean, what's the point? What could you possibly say tomorrow to justify how you felt before the game happened? What could you possibly say? I ain't even interested in your show tomorrow. I'm not even. You know what? I'm a fan of Broussard. I like Broussard, so I might watch just because of him. I mean, just mute your little segment that they give you. I'm not a fan.
All right, man. Let's move on from Nick Wright, the hater. This is all about the Buffalo Bills. Another great dominant performance. Let's talk about the top 5 plays. Let's get into it.
This is the BA Dubs top 5 segment. Buffalo, get ready.
Getting hot.
You got him? Well, let's get him.
All right, let's talk about it, guys. Akeem, man, I'm going to start with you, man. Since you're a guest on the show today, man, top 5 plays that change the dynamics of this game. Where you want to start with at number 5?
I think you muted, bro.
Yeah, I apologize. Number 5, I think this is going to be a tough start, but I'm going to have to start it here anyway because I was wondering when Dalton Kincaid was going to get involved within the offense. I was wondering when he was going to show his ability to spread the offense and compound upon what he did last season. And this season, I think he was off to a slow start, but getting that touchdown in the back of the end zone, I think really set the tone for the Buffalo Bills offense. So I'm going to start there with the Dalton Kincaid touchdown.
Yeah, amazing touchdown that was. Josh Allen breaking away from the pressure, and making it happen again. Cuzzo, you at number 4. What you got?
Oh man, if I gotta go number 4, I gotta go in the number 4 play today. I have to say was I don't want to go with a touchdown. I'm gonna go with a defense. Let's show the defense a little bit of love. So number 4 play, I think Ingram getting his first sack as a Bill. I think that was a huge moment. The play by Bobby Babbage was so nice. The delayed blitz from both sides. Offensive line had no idea who to block, and Trevor Lawrence went down, and it was a great sack for the young kid out of UB. So him getting his first sack as a Bill, definitely for number 4 play for me.
I'm going to have to go back to Josh Allen again doing his thing, and I'm going with my man Khalil Shakir, man. Khalil Shakir, the kid just won't go down. The kid's breaking tackles, man. The kid's spinning off people, spinning into the end zone. I mean, this guy just has a knack for getting extra yards and getting touchdowns. Like, look, man, this kid is an absolute stud. I asked last year, I said, can this kid be a potential number 2 receiver for the Buffalo Bills? And a lot of people was like, no, leave him at number 3. I mean, he's really, really showing what he's got. Like, he's leading the team in receiving right now. So definitely got to keep giving him a shout out. He's my number 3 player of the day. Back to you, King. What you got for number 2?
Keon Coleman celebrating his first touchdown of his career. I really like how the Buffalo Bills are using him thus far. They're using him in opportunistic situations and putting him in situations in order to be successful. And we saw that with his touchdown grab, showing separation, doing so for the Buffalo Bills. So I really like what I saw with that touchdown grab from Keon Coleman, scoring his first of his career.
Absolutely.
Did y'all hear the stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all hear the stadium when Keon Coleman, I mean, this kid is a fan favorite. As soon as he walked in the door, as soon as he did his first interview, like fans just gravitated to this young man. The media gravitated to this young man. And to see him succeed, to see him be compared to guys like the guys that, we passed up in the draft. We ain't going to even mention that today. Guys that Stephon Diggs, who was here last year. It's not fair. It's not fair to compare him to a player of Stephon Diggs' magnitude in his first year. Just let him build that confidence. Let him build that confidence. And the more confidence he builds, the better he's going to get. So definitely, I agree.
Absolutely. And Macy's will sell out in bubble coats this winter. So just wait till you see this winter when it's cold outside, how many yellow bubble coats, blue bubble coats, red bubble coats, white bubble coats. You'll see a lot of them out there this winter when it starts getting cold outside. Macy's will be sold out. But I mean, if I'm left over, I'm going to go number 1. It has to be the play of the night, man. It has to be the momentum shift of the night. DeMar Hamlin getting his first interception, man. That had to be number 1. That had to be number 1, man. That was it was more than just a regular interception. That was a monumental, emotional moment. And I bet that stadium was insane when that happened. So shout out to him, man. Much love, 3. We appreciate it.
The threes go up. The threes went up. The threes went up, man. So definitely, something that rang in Bills fans' heart. And a special moment for DeMar Hamlin, this comeback season for him, what it's meant for him. Again, a lot of us, including myself, including you, we've said it on this show. He's really going to have to earn a spot on this roster, and he's the starter. He's the starter, and he's playing like it. He's really playing like it.
He definitely is. Honorable mention, big play Ray, getting his first touchdown too. We ain't forgot about you, bro. Honorable mention. You got your first touchdown, 22. We ain't forgot your big play, Ray.
A lot of firsts. A lot of firsts tonight. A lot of firsts tonight.
A lot of them. A lot of them.
Yeah,
right, that's a young team.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that, though. I mean, this roster is being built around Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? This is he's the undisputed leader of this team. No question. No questions asked. No prima donna stuff. No complaining. This is the absolute leader of this Buffalo Bill roster. And look, man, it's nothing, no way we can get around it. It just is what it is. All right, so I want to talk about this issue. We talked about this briefly before, but we're going to talk about this right now on our winner sin segment.
It's us against the world. It's us against us. Buffalo against the world. It's us against.
All right, Tyler Bass. Tyler Bass is going to be the discussion of the winner sin as our kicker going forward. To keep Tyler Bass, he's missing field goals, he's missing short field goals, and he's missing extra points. Is it a winner sin right now to have this guy as our kicker on this team? Especially when we have to face guys like the Chiefs later on in the season and probably going to see them in the playoffs. Akeem, I'm going to start with you. Is Tyler Bass a win or a sin for the Buffalo Bills right now?
I think he's a win by default because I right now, during the season, it's hard to find somebody that's going to be better than a Tyler Bass. So I think right now we're in a position where can we bring guys in and probably mess with the psyche and the mentality of Tyler Bass and know, okay, the Buffalo Bills are looking. I see guys coming into the building to contest for my job, but ultimately I think it's going to be his job this season, and depending on what he does for the rest of this season is what the Buffalo Bills can do next season. So, under the circumstances of how he's playing, it would be a sin, but because of the competition around him or the lack thereof, by default, he's a win.
Cuzzo, what's your thoughts?
It's a sin keeping this dude on his roster, man. It's a sin keeping this dude on his roster. He missed one in Arizona. I'm sorry, he missed one here versus Arizona. He missed one in Florida. He missed one tonight. It's a sin keeping this dude on his roster. I've seen kickers come from the XFL and come in and play well. Your job is to kick the ball. This is the beginning of the season. Tyler, the weather's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. You missed one in Florida. You missed one here at the beginning of the year. You missed one tonight. Tonight really wasn't your fault. That was kind of blocked. Mm-hmm. I get it. Mm-hmm. The weather's only going to get worse. We're going to need you January. We're going to need you December. We're going to need you November. The weather's going to get worse. They brought 2 kickers in this week. They didn't sign anybody, but they brought 2 kickers in. There are some veteran guys that we need to have on speed dial. Like, yo, you got one job. Take the 9 inches of pigskin, put it through the 17 feet of air between the pipes. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. It's a sin keeping this dude in his roster, man. I'm sorry.
It's a sin. Mm.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to agree with Akeem on this one. Off the strength that we don't have anyone else to replace him.
That's the problem. Mm-hmm.
He's on this roster by default. Unfortunately, it's something that I wish Brandon Beam would have addressed this offseason, to give him some competition, to put some pressure on him, to let him know, like, we cannot have that. We can't have that. What we had last year against the Chiefs, we cannot have that anymore. So we're seeing it continue. Let's just hope that he's just going through a phase and he gets through it. I hope you're right, Mario, on that one. So something I think is
it's like how you get that one scar, or like, you get that, you put a Band-Aid over it and it keeps falling off. That's what he is right now. He's the Band-Aid that keeps falling off. Like, it stops the bleeding. It stops the bleeding at times, but that Band-Aid keeps slipping off. I'm tired of the Band-Aid slipping off.
All right, let's go into our player of the game, guys.
The party starts in 3, 2, 1.
All right, man. Cuzzo, I'm going to start this one off with you. Who is the player of the game for the Buffalo Bills?
I know everybody wants to say Josh Allen, and Josh Allen played extremely well tonight. My player of the game is going to go to the offensive line. The big hog mollies up front, all 5 of those dudes who kept Josh Allen, James Cook, kept everybody eating. Yeah, Josh Allen is serving the dinner, but those boys are cooking the dinner back there. Josh Allen is serving it, but them boys are cooking it up. So the offensive line are my players of the week.
Who you got, Akeem?
It has to be Josh. The player 23 of 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns, another 6 attempts, 44 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. It has to be Josh. And when he's playing like this and he's not turning the ball over, it's a runaway MVP. If we're talking about MVP this early in the season for Josh Allen, as long as he keep playing like this, I like our chances each and every week. So Josh Allen's a player of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't disagree with either one of you brothers on that one. I mean, Josh Allen is playing at a level. He's on another level right now. And I'm hoping he can keep up at this level. He's making the right read. He's not really forcing the ball to anyone. He looks a lot more poised in the pocket right now. He looks a lot more confident. I mean, he's throwing like he knows what he's got, what he's going after. He knows what he's going after this year.
Yeah.
He knows who we're going after.
I think it's the Gatorade poster. It's the mural. It's the mural. Yeah, it's that. That's what's doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big game for Josh Allen. And again, the offensive line, keeping them clean. We got to give a shout out to the defense, though, man. All around, Bobby Babbage. I was kind of concerned about him in the first game against Arizona, but it's looking like he's coming into his own. I know McDermott, it was hard for him to let the reins go from calling plays. But yeah, I think he's got the right guy. In Bobby Babbage, who really kind of understands how McDermott would call a certain play. Taking that off McDermott really gives McDermott an opportunity to manage the game. Not many games so far have been very, very close for us. But at the same time, he's in a better opportunity to manage the game, to hold on to those timeouts when need, use them when need be at the right times. He's able to do that or even if he sees a call towards the end of the game, as he did in that Arizona game, where he can say, hey, look, I'm going to take over for this last fourth quarter to make sure we secure this victory. So that's really, really helping McDermott. What's your thoughts on Bobby Babbage, Akeem?
I love what he's doing thus far. I believe he had a reality check early on against the Arizona Cardinals, getting down 17-3. And ever since they made that comeback, he's been on a roll ever since. The defensive line has responded. He's responded in his blitz packages and the play calls, and I think the players have responded. And, Rasul Douglas talked about it and alluded to it throughout the week. He spoke about not being able to think for real, right? You could go out there and play fast physical football within that defense, and when you could do that and keep things simplistic, I think that's a promotion for success for the Buffalo Bills, and that's what we're seeing thus far with Bobby Babbage.
Cousin Brad?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that 1,000%. I mean, the Bills play a difficult type of defense to play in the NFL. They play a nickel defense too high, a lot of defensive backs, couple of linebackers, but the defensive line plays well. That is not easy to do at this level of football. But Sean McDermott, Bobby Babbage, they bought into the philosophy, and they got a lot of guys that can tackle well. Sometimes you will see like a over pursuit. You will see a misplay here and there. But a lot of these guys, they communicate well. They talk to each other. They're always heads up on the field. And they're always encouraging one another. So it's a big defensive committee. So Bobby Babbage and Sean McDermott really came together and blended that defense down. And it's really working out good for them right now.
Absolutely.
And I think they spoke about it in the broadcast, right? The Buffalo Bills, they have one of the best systems in the NFL, and having one of the best systems to be able to couple that with Brandon Bean being able to find guys to play out and maximize this system. I think the combination is what we're seeing the Buffalo Bills have. It's not just Sean McDermott and Bobby Babish and the coaching staff. It's Brandon Bean able to find the necessary guys to fit and maximize the systems that we're seeing that's being successful early on within the Buffalo Bills. Not only defensively, but offensively as well. Talk about what Joe Brady's done with Josh Allen, 7 touchdowns, no turnovers. I think that's been a big talk for Josh Allen throughout the course of the offseason and throughout his career, turning over the ball. And then I have to give a lot of credit to Joe Brady for dumbing down the offense a little bit for Josh Allen and understanding that I have a Superman player that doesn't have to be Superman on every play. And now we're seeing the bigger picture in terms of Josh Allen being able to maximize himself and progress into another level and keeping the ball safe and not turning it over. So I think both coordinators are doing an excellent job for the Buffalo Bills thus far.
How many turnovers, Josh? How many interceptions? How many was it?
0.
Oh, 0. Oh, man. He keeps turning the ball over, yet hasn't done it yet. Man, he overrated. He ain't got digs. He ain't got. Oh, how many touchdowns did Gabe Davis score tonight? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. What about Stephon Diggs? He scored a touchdown? Oh, yeah. That's right.
He did score this year, but not recently.
Tonight. Or he didn't score yesterday.
Nope.
Sure didn't.
Sure didn't.
Hey, undefeated, beating the crap out of teams that got our get back. But I don't want to get too cocky because this week it ain't getting no easier. Because we go to Baltimore and, man, you talk about a game, it's going to be physical. That is going to be a physical ball game right there. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and that offensive line, it ain't going to get no easier. So hopefully y'all studying film tonight.
Yeah. So all of our fans out there, we got to throw this out there, and then we're going to wrap it up with how to get a dub against Baltimore. But let's talk about this. This some Buffalo Bill history, because I'm a historian and love history. So what year? All Bills Mafia fans, put this in the chat. We're going to give you 4 options, okay? What year did the Buffalo Bills win the AFL championship? I'm going to give you 4 options. 1964, 1963, 1975, and 1969. Which year did the Buffalo Bills win their first AFL championship? All right. This is not a Super Bowl. AFL championship. Y'all know the rules. No Googling. 1964, 1963 is an option. 1975. And then there is 1969. Which year did they win? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat for the Bills Mafia trivia. Cuzzo, Brad, Akeem, let's talk about how we're going to get a dub while the fans is got their mind thinking on that, and we'll come back to that question in just a bit. Baltimore is the team to beat, and we got to go to Baltimore to beat them. What do you see are the challenges against this team, Akeem, playing against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson? What is something that you think that this team opposes a challenge to the Buffalo Bills?
I think everybody just have to do their 111. Everybody has to do their job. They have a backfield with Lamar Jackson, and Derrick Henry that can be dynamic, and you have to play gap containment, disciplined football. And I think you have to make Lamar, no disrespect to him, but you want to make him play quarterback. You want to keep him within the hash marks and want him to be able to play quarterback and see if he could deliver the football, as opposed to getting on the outside and utilizing his legs. Because when he utilizes his legs, I think it opens up so much within the Baltimore Ravens offense. So collapsing the pocket on Lamar Jackson, containing Derrick Henry, and making Lamar Jackson play quarterback and passing the football is a key to success, in my opinion, for the Buffalo Bills defense.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree 1,000%. But the way to get this dub is real simple. Keep Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry off of the field, and if they have to be on the field, make sure they're in the red zone because they crumble. The Ravens are built. They are a team that is built to control the clock. Problem with that is if they get down, they can't play catch up. So the problem is we had to start fast, start scoring a lot early, keep them off the field, control the clock. We beat this team easily.
I'm going to have to say that tackling is going to be very, very important, especially dealing with a guy like Derrick Henry. This guy is an absolute beast. He went for 150 against the Cowboys. I mean, we're not the Cowboys. We ain't the Cowboys.
Yeah, we're going to clear that up now.
So let's get that very clear.
Right.
In some prior years, though, we have had problems with him. And we don't forget those things. So tackling is going to be very important, not letting him get to the second level of the defense, getting him down. And tackle technique is going to be very, very important. And same thing with Lamar Jackson. But I think the same recipe that you used for Kyler Murray in the week 1 defensively is what you're going to have to do with Lamar Jackson. You're going to have to do the same thing. He's the same type of threat, just more speed and a better arm. So again, you got to get him down. You got to make tackles. You got to collapse that pocket. Get him uncomfortable. You get Lamar Jackson uncomfortable, he'll throw some interceptions. He'll take some sacks. So again, get him uncomfortable and tackle well. That is going to be the key to the Buffalo Bills winning this game.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
All right. So as we mentioned, the Bills Mafia trivia, we had one answer in the chat. Let's pull it up here. Alan said 1973. And that is the wrong answer. It was 1964 was the year that the Buffalo Bills won their first AFL championship. Again, this is before the NFL and AFL merger, before the official NFL came to be. So this is not a Super Bowl, but it was the closest thing that the Bills won to a Super Bowl 2. They have 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Back to back, baby.
Yep, back-to-back championship.
Yeah.
65. So some people would have thought it was 63 and 64.
No, we came close. We came close.
And we came very close to playing in the first Super Bowl, if anybody doesn't know that history, too. So
Lenny Dawson, man. Lenny Dawson was a monster back then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, family, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you, Akeem, on the Buffalo Against the World show on the post game. First time, Cuzzo Brad, we're doing the Monday night post game. An absolute pleasure. We're here every Monday.
Hit after hit after hit.
Non-stop.
It's Buffalo Against the World show.
A lot of hits.
We are here every week at 7 o'clock. Me and myself, Cuzzo Brad. Man, fellas, any final thoughts on this game and going forward for the Buffalo Bills? Akeem, we'll start with you.
First of all, it's been a pleasure. It's been our first time working together, but it won't be our last time, right? And it was a great time to work together with the 47-10 victory, the Buffalo Bills defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it was an overall great night, an overall successful show. And first of many, fellas, you have a great thing going on here. It's entertaining. Brad is funny as heck, man. I appreciate both of y'all for having me, and we're going to do this again sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Cuzzo.
Come on, man. You know I got to do my victory chant. We won again. You know I got to do it before the show's over. You know I got to do it.
Go ahead.
So can I ask y'all a couple questions real quick?
Sure.
I don't know. My son's asleep. I don't want to wake him up. I'm going to do it anyway. What's that coming down and through? It's that big old bison in the red and blue. Ain't nothing finer in the land than the drunk, obnoxious Bills fan. Go Bills, go Bills, go Bills. Spell it out. Buffalo 3-0.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, man. Thank everybody for being with us on the Buffalo Against the World show. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Built-in Buffalo platform. And big shout out to Monster Energy Drink for Billion, the official energy partner of the Built-in Buffalo Network. One love to everybody. We out.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kulu and
Cousin Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.